Hello and welcome back to another TEKDEP tutorial. My name is Nicholas and today we have a display replacement on an Apple A2918 14-inch MacBook. Now this is one of the newer MacBooks and there are a few other tutorials that we have on our YouTube page for specific models that are close to this, however not this specific one. So there will be things that will be different, so we're recording this for you so you don't get tripped up and are able to replace your own displays with no problem. But that's not the only thing that we do here at TEKDEP.com. We actually have a full service data recovery and mail-in repair form that you can fill out on our website so that we can take care of any repairs that you might not want to do yourself or can't do in the case of data recovery. We are open every day and we're able to get these done with multiple different technicians here every day to work on your unit. So there is no need to worry. Feel free to fill out that on our website and we can get that sorted out for you as soon as possible. We also sell parts, so everything that you see used in this video will be in our description down below for our website. So if you need anything from the pry tools to the screwdrivers to really anything including the display, feel free to check us out and we can definitely help you out with that. But without further ado, let's get started. Now, like any repair, the first thing we're going to do is open the unit. These ones are rather simple. They only have 8 screws on the back. All we need to do is start by taking them off and then undoing the battery. Once we have undone the 4 screws on the back, all we need to do is take your pry tool, and there are going to be 2 latches on this model, one on each side. You take your pry tool and simply slide it across until you hear a pop. And then you can get under it with your hand. Pull it up, put one hand on the top case and your thumb on the bottom and simply push and pull and you can take off the back plate for you. Now, like every computer, the first thing we are going to do is take off the battery connector. That is underneath the trackpad flex cable, so we will need to take that off first. Then you get under it with your pry tool. Peel it back very lightly because they are a little fragile, so just make sure that you do not damage anything. Then we'll take off the battery flex cable. And then the pancake screw that is holding down the battery to the motherboard. Once that is disconnected and the little tab here holding it down is lifted up, you will want to go ahead and open up the unit and hold down the power button for about 10 seconds. Now this will fully discharge the entire unit so that it is safe to work on and that no other part of the unit has any charge left that might fry anything important, specifically the logic board. But after about 10 seconds, your computer is fully discharged and we are now able to start removing the display. Now to start by removing the display, there are a few protective cases that are holding down the flex cables. We'll need to take those off before we can do anything else, but you'll see them all around the top here. But we'll start from left to right. Best way to do this is in the order that you take them off, you put them on the side of the unit top down. That way, you won't even need to know what they look like. You just need to know that from the top on the left side, and you can put them back in that same order. It's the best way to keep everything together and that you don't miss any screws, because these are pretty important. But we'll get started on the left-hand side. With those off, we can now start by taking off the few other screws that are related to the hinges on the left-hand side. But these are a different screw. Now we can go ahead and undo each of the, oh, actually, this one here was not supposed to be taken off. That is on me, but we'll go ahead and put that one on right now. However, the other flex cables we will be taking off. So just the ones in the middle here with the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth antennas, as well as this one on the other side. And after that, we can now undo all of the cables that are associated with the antenna. So there's going to be 4 in the middle and 9 of these small ones here. And then 9 of these, which are pretty specific. These are the Apple Pentalope screws, and they are rather small. These ones are ones that you can lose very easily, so be very careful with them because they are hard to find, especially if you drop them on the ground and especially if they are on carpet. And then there are 2 on each side as well here. with that, we can now take off the Wi-Fi antenna and put that to the side. And then the two hinge covers on both sides, which we will keep with the screws that go with it here. And then we can also lift up on the tabs to take off the connectors on each of these. There are two little pads under it. These are important. These ones we will keep because we do need to reuse them for the new display. However, in some cases, these little tabs will have to be reinserted onto the specific displays that we get. There's going to be a short, which will be linked in the description as well as right here on the screen for these two once we have that out. But after that, the last step is just to take off the 6 screws that are holding down each side of the hinges. And with that, all of the screws that are needed to be taken off are taken off, and all we have to do is simply open it up by holding down the hinges on each side and pushing open the display as so. And bending it off. And then once it is bent all the way, all you simply need to do is separate it from the casing and remove the old display from the unit. And with that, like I was saying, all of our displays here can be found at TEKDEP.com. We have displays for just about every unit, including some PCs. So feel free to check us out there, and we have these ready and available for you to be shipped out within a couple of hours. But to get started, all we need to do is simply do the same thing, but opposite. Hold it at about a 45-degree angle. Make sure that the flaps are up and on the outside. And then simply slide it into the slots here on each side. And then take one screw on each side and temporarily tighten it. Now, why we're temporarily tightening it is so we can get a little bit of tension so we can close it, and then we will go ahead and line everything up so it looks symmetrical. And then once that's done, we will reinstall all of them. All right, now with it down and screwed in, you can check the sides of it for irregularities. You can kind of see it on video, but you can definitely feel it that this lip of the display is out a little bit from the bottom case. In order to fix that, all you need to do is simply loosen each screw for a little bit and then push the top and bottom case together so it is nice and even and there is no overlap on either of the sides. Once it is even, we will go ahead and tighten the rest of the hinge screws down. After that, we will put our hinge cases back on each side. And we can also screw these in right now. I know I kind of took the screws off in a different order, but I hope you don't get tripped up too much from it. These screws are the only ones that are a solid black color, so it shouldn't be too hard to keep track of where they go. Now, before we put back on the Wi-Fi antenna, we will need to reattach these little lips here with the little cushions. So we will need to attach these little lips here with the cushions that we took off a moment ago, simply by putting these back on so that the longer side is facing up, as so, on both sides. And then flip this little lip under that longer side very lightly, because this is one of the more fragile parts, and then simply press it down on the other side. There are these two little lips here that will go across here and hold it down. Do not force anything, make sure there's no bend in the cables, and be very slow as to not break any of the flex cables for your display. They are the most fragile portions of the display and can break very easily, so be very careful. After that, we can now put back on the Wi-Fi antenna and start by screwing in the rest of the Wi-Fi antenna in. So that includes the two long screws on the side, the four little screws in here, and then the tiny screws, 9 of them, that hold it all together. After that, we are able to repress down all of the flex cables and Wi-Fi pins that we took off. Oops. Would help to show you what I was doing, but all I did was put in these two flex cables here, and now the Wi-Fi antenna. These ones can be a little tricky. Do not force it. If you're forcing it, that means it's not on there all the way. You will need to just make sure that the circle is lined up. And they should press down nicely. Same with these flex cables. With all of those connected, all we need to do now is reinstall the safety. All we need to do is reinstall the protective casings on top of the flex cables. careful and try not to drop the screws. Start with the pancake screw. And then the cable. This one can be a little tricky. Just be patient with it. Make sure that it is all the way in. And then make sure the tab is pressed down as well. And once it is fully connected, we can press down the trackpad flex cable and screw the protective case back on. And the last step is simply just to put back on the back case and screw the 8 back case screws back in. Apply pressure on the 2 tabs. The longer screws are on the top, while the shorter screws are on the bottom. And with that, you have fully replaced the display, and the last thing to do is test it. Go ahead and plug it in, hold the power button, and there we go. The new display is on, tested, and just like that, you have fully replaced your display on your MacBook 2918 14-inch MacBook Pro. Like I said at the beginning of the video, we do more than just these tutorials for you on YouTube. We have a full data recovery and mail-in repair service that you can take advantage of just with one click of the button. You send us in your either drive or computer that would need data recovery, or possibly any of these repairs that you've seen today. We handle it within a couple of days and get it sent back to you as soon as possible. Everything that you've seen in this video you can find at TEKDEP.com, and that includes all of the parts as well as all of the tools that go into it. So please, if you've watched it all the way through, don't think you can do it. Think you just want a more professional touch to it, and make sure that you do not break anything. Feel free to send it in to us and we'll take care of the rest. Feel free to watch the rest of our videos, and if you got it this far, why not subscribe and leave a like on this video? It helps us out a ton, and we love making these videos for you so that you can be just as pro as the professionals. Thank you very much. My name is Nicholas.